up, Boss Squad? It's Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Where were you on that day? When they ask you years down the line, what the hell were you doing in April? Say, listen to these fools. One named Jerry and one named Aaron Rabel. One that's going to go sell the seas in Europe somewhere. And that's why this is the last show of the week. I was going to call it something, the finale or something, but it's not going to be that. I'll be back next Monday solo, but this is Odd Takes, and I am Jerry Bo at Jerry Bo Sports on Twitter. Aaron Rabel that I speak of, that's Aaron is Blitzed on Twitter as well. What's happening, my man?
Oh, you know, it's a Tuesday. There was plenty of sports last night, plenty of NBA, plenty of baseball stuff to talk about. I mean, it feels weird that this is the last time I'm going to do this show for a couple of weeks, but I'm ready to go out with a bang.
You need to come back with a European accent.
I'm so worried because I do it all the time just to like make my wife like annoy her. I'm so worried that I'm going to get just shithouse drunk. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to insult somebody, and somebody's going to try to haul off and hit me. And I'm going to get into a bar fight in Britain because I'm trying to make fun of their I'm
you
just
wanker. And they're like, hey, man.
Like, oh, let's put some football on the telly, shall we? And then just have somebody be like, who the fuck is this guy? And just come after me.
All of a sudden, he turns around. There's boys right there just waiting on him like, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be a swell of a time. Hopefully, you do catch a football game somewhere inside one of those badass little bars.
I've been looking because I forgot. Like, are you a Ted Lasso guy?
Yeah.
I forgot they filmed just outside of London. So I just pulled up an article of all the filming locations that they use. And I sent it to my wife. I said, the second we get off the plane, we're going to that pub first. And that's where I'm drinking my first beer.
That's badass. 281-522-6336. If you want to jump in on the show, let's open up the lines. I said at about the 10-minute mark. If you want to get in on trivia, let's go ahead and bring this show in the correct way, though. But a big yo to everyone. Let me give it all the shout-outs. Virginia Buttonweed, happy Tuesday. Ready for Clarence to do trivia. Heard he studied all night. Okay. Trivia. Clarence laid down his trivia suit. You know, whenever the first day of school, you put down your shirt, your pants, your socks. Clarence knew what he was going to do today. Clarence knew what he was going to do, and today he was going to win. And you have the opportunity for that as well. He ain't the only one. Pookie in the house. Pookie, Chris Reyes. Hey, the brave soul that tried to win. He went out fighting, but it just didn't happen. Aggie Milkman, Biggie 713 as always in here. Who else we got in here? B. Hannon talking about Sutherland. Where you said London, and where else are you going?
London, Southampton,
Southampton,
Portland, Cork, Dublin, Glasgow, and Holyhead.
Goodness.
And a little town off of a little shit island.
Where the hell is a Holyhead?
Holyhead's in Wales.
Damn.
Holyhead, whatever. And then the second stop on the trip is a little island off the coast of France called Gurney, which was like, I guess, where they would load up all, like, because there's like a World War II underground hospital and stuff that's there. But yeah, there's. Whew.
Well, there you have it, folks. My man's about to sell the seas. He's about to travel the world while we peasants sit here and have to work or something like that. I'll be on some kind of a work trip trying to make some bread. I'll be back on Monday. Like I said, I'll run it one deep. Maybe have a few guests throughout the week. But let's get into yesterday's recap, man. The sweep. Many thought that it was a for sure thing. I saw a lot of handicappers use there's no way that the NBA is going to let them get swept. Or you think KD's going to go out like that? Man, you know, sometimes it just happens like that. Just sometimes the best team just doesn't let up. Someone even used the handicap I saw. Well, the Nets are going to be more motivated because they have to win. It's like, man, that's how you lose money right there. Because, yeah, that's an easy thing to think. Yeah, backs against the wall. But what if you got a team that's been heartless all year? A team that's had problems off the court all season. A team that has no direction, no backbone, no coaching backbone, nothing, no direction. And then now all of a sudden you put them up 3-0. You think that team really thinks and believes in themselves that they're going to come back? See, so every situation's different. Don't go into a game, oh, yeah, well, now they have. It's like, hold on. Let's look at this scenario. You don't think the Boston Celtics want to sweep that team? You don't think about that and be able to rest? You don't think that? Well, you saw what happened. Any thoughts now?
I mean, I get into that issue from time to time where I look at the emotional side of the game too much. I look at, oh man, J.J. Watt's returning against the Texans. He's got to go off for 3 sacks. And I look at too much of what the players or what the team's emotional state is. But I also still rely on the eye test.
Yeah.
And if you were watching any of the first 3 games, that eye test told you Boston is just the dominant team. There's, the Nets showed little tiny flashes, but they didn't show that they could string together an entire freaking game where they could go toe-to-toe with Boston and just completely dominate them. And that was, I didn't bet the game, but I looked at it and I said, no, there's no way you could get me to bet the Nets because Boston is the clearly better team. Boston, like I said, after game 2, Boston smelled blood in the water, and they put their foots on the throat and for game 3 and said, you know what, we're done. We want to go home. We want to leave. We want to sleep. We want to wait. We don't know who we don't know what we're going to get next, but the sooner we get done with these guys, the sooner we get to send these chumps home, the sooner we just get to sit there and rehab and get some stretching, some training stuff done because they needed to do it.
And some of them made sense, as in the referee sent in, or the NBA sent in their referee enforcements to try to extend the series. Bring in Scott Foster. Well, he did. He tried. He fouled out Tatum on a foul that never was. Gave Tatum an offensive foul whenever he was screening to get the ball. He wasn't even doing nothing. Gets basically tackled. Get him out. All of a sudden, you're like, man, they're going to try to do the Celtics like this? Celtics still had the lead, though. At no point throughout that game did you feel comfortable if you had a Nets ticket. You were trailing the whole time. And at no point did you say, yeah, they're about to turn it up. You were praying that something happened to Tatum. It did. Not enough. See you later. That's where we are now. Let's get to the next one. The Jazz, Mavericks, Luka led now.
Good God, Luka. Watching him shoot, and I watched the second half of that game. He was lights out. There was stuff out there that he was just throwing up, and I was like, oh God, that went in. Oh, there's no, holy crap. Like, after the 3rd or 4th time, I stopped saying it out loud. I was like, dudes, there's nothing he can't hit right now. Just keep feeding him. Because every time, especially towards the end of that 3rd quarter, when he would hit some of those shots, you could see it just deflate the Jazz. Like, they were trying and trying, and all of a sudden he would hit another one, they'd go, all right, this sucks. This ain't our night.
33 and 13, he smashed them. Like Aaron said, he was hitting everything. It got to a point where he looked like a video game. He was just going up there and throwing it up there. And then he was going and getting like a block on defense and bringing it up. It was showtime. 77-102. Now you have to ask yourself, are the Jazz cooked? Because you can't have a team where 2 of your best players don't get along. One being Donovan Mitchell, one being Rudy Gobert. Like, they don't get along. One of them doesn't pass it to the other. They had a stat the other day, and they had 1 pass to each other during the whole game. You're telling me that he brings the ball up most 60-70% of the time he plays with the ball in his hand? Donovan Mitchell, and you're telling me at not one point did he see an advantage to drop it down low to Rudy? Not one time other than that one time? Like, not one time out, like 2-3 times during a whole game? Somebody that has the ball, like Mitchell, there's something to it. There's something to it. And we've heard that there was beef already, and now it's translating to on the court. You can't win like that. The Mavericks are going to go. How far can the Mavericks go? Do you believe in them?
I think that they have the ability. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to put title contender on them just yet, but I think they have. I think easily they can make a really good series out of the conference title if they get that far. I mean, like I said, there's a couple of teams on this. There are a couple teams out there that I've said, you know what? You don't screw with them. Golden State, Memphis, Miami, and Boston. Those are the teams that I still think are the best teams in the playoffs right now.
Look at all the teams you named. They got stars, obviously, of course, but look how they're all like team built. There's
and that's not
like no big 3.
And that's not. And I know somebody's gonna go, "Oh, well, you got Milwaukee out there with the best player in the league, Giannis." I get that. It's not a slight to Giannis. We don't know when they're gonna be 100% healthy again. We've got time with that. Like, if I have to pick the 4 best teams after just watching the first round of the playoffs so far, those are my 4 best teams. And you could tell me I'm wrong. That's why
Remember, it
this
was
is all opinionated.
Remember, it was an era of big three, though?
Yeah.
Where's the big three on any of those teams? Milwaukee, and like a real big three. Obviously, you can pick the best three players off any team. Let's not be idiots here. We're talking about how people try to build with just straight up perennial all-stars. Give me three of them. Where? Tatum's made himself that. Jaylen Brown's tried to throw, but he's not. He's right there, but he's not. He's the guy you could. Okay, they're not. Milwaukee, we already know how they're built. The Warriors, we know that they got Clay and Steph, and can you throw Draymond really as a big three? But no, he's never really. We never consider them as a big three, right? We consider them just as a well-built team. The Grizzlies, obviously, you got Morant. Now you got Bane out there. You got different players, right? But who's that? There's no big three. So in an era that we were looking at 3-4 years ago, where it's like, man, you have to team up. We're gonna have to get superstar with superstar with superstar. We got to have three guys that are considered superstar, all-stars at least. All-stars at least, not superstars, because there's a difference. All-star and then that superstar level. We got to get three all-stars, let's say. We're the all-stars. It's just, let's just put a good team together here and good coaching, and we can make it.
And that's what it comes down to is it's not building, a few all-stars. It's building a well-built team. And that's when the Warriors did what they did. And that's why, that was another shift in a new era of NBA basketball. You went from having your big three and, we've got a big three. That's all we needed. And then the Warriors came out and they built from the ground up, and they built a solid team 1 through 5. Now, was every single one of them lights out on offense? No, but where some guys left something to be desired on the offensive side, on the defensive side, they were monsters. And that's when the rest of the league went, there's 5 guys on that court. Yeah, we probably need to get 5 guys on the court that can ball out, because if they can't, why don't we just give everything to Golden State now? So I think we're going to look at this as the era of teams being fully built from the bottom up. But, I don't see any, and we were talking about Dallas, can they go all the way? Again, they're taking on New Orleans or Phoenix if they get past this round. I can see that being a good series, but if they have to go up against a Golden State or a Memphis, I don't think if somehow Minnesota were to get through Memphis and then get through Golden State, I don't think Dallas would have a problem with it. But after seeing Minnesota go through those two teams, holy shit, I might just drop everything I have on Minnesota.
There, you heard it. You heard it here. A gentleman's guarantee. And almost a kind of guarantee that 76ers fans were making themselves whenever James Harden was added to the Morey brain tree, right? The trust, the cult, the mastermind that he was. Daryl Morey somehow figures out how to bring in James Harden, and he's going to bring him into a team led by Joel Embiid. And you know the rest. I don't need to build this like a damn movie, but this turned into a movie. And I'm not sure the ending of this is the way that they wanted or projected or predicted or even took this chance for. Like right now, if they could go back in time, would they say, man, let's not do this if this is the way it ended? In a way that, yeah, results, content, and what we talk about the next day, it's results driven, obviously. So we're going to talk about exactly that. Yeah, they lost, but it's the way they lost. And whenever you have Joel Embiid going to the mic yesterday on that podium, and the first thing he said when they asked him about the game in Harden, he says, man, this is something I've been telling him all season. I've been telling him that he needs to be aggressive. 11 shots isn't enough. If he says it like that, it's because, bro, my finger's messed up. I got to get surgery. Embiid's already it's known. He's got to get surgery. Right? So it's like, we brought you in to give me help. Where's the help? Where's the help? This is the Harden that we know.
I mean, this is the Harden we know. And the one stat that stood out to me when I was looking through it this morning, just going over it again, I'm like, what, man? I thought, and I said this when you asked me last week. Yeah, last week, because it's only Tuesday. I said Philly probably wins the series 4-1. Had you set me down and gave me this one stat at the beginning, and I were to tell you before tip-off that James Harden is going to lead everybody on the floor in turnovers, what do you say? Who do you think wins that game yesterday? That's all. That's the only stat I give you is I say, I know the winner of this game, and the only thing I'm going to tell you is James Harden leads the entire floor with turnovers.
I got to go to the Raptors at that point if you told me that.
I mean, he led everybody. He had 5 turnovers. Joel Embiid had 4 on his own, so let's not act like he wasn't giving the ball away.
Let me turn this one to you. What if I told you this? If I look at you and I say, hey, I don't know who's going to win, but this is all I could tell you. James Harden's only going to have 6 free throw attempts.
I mean, that's
what would you say, man?
I would take the Raptors because that was we saw them winning earlier.
There you go.
With James Harden doing James Harden things of getting to the rack or getting to the line. Now, you got to look at the actual, like my favorite thing looking at these turnovers. James Harden and Joel Embiid had more turnovers, just the two of them, than the entire Toronto offense. That's ridiculous. That's bench players, everybody. They had 9 turnovers together. Toronto only had 8. Meanwhile, the rest of the 76ers chipped in for another 6 turnovers on their own. So that's the James Harden I look at. 9 turnovers,
and they only had 11 shot attempts.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's
well, okay. No, Harden and Embiid had 9 turnovers together.
Okay, together.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying he had 9 turnovers.
No.
Okay. Yeah, but still, it's at this point you have to have somebody pick Embiid up. Embiid's hurt.
But yes, the two of them went for 35 points with 9 turnovers, and 11 for 26.
That's not enough
from the field.
That's not enough for the moves that they try to make,
and that's not enough for the way the Raptors play. The Raptors are going to make you pay. Pascal Siakam is going to make you pay when you give up the ball like that. That's not, those turnovers, those are not something that you can just shake off. That was the thing, is that the early Harden days is he would turn over the ball 12 times in a game, but he'd go off for 45 or 50, and you go, yeah, all right.
Exactly.
Like, you can make up for that. When you go off for, 9 turnovers between your 2 starters with your 2 of the second and third tied most minutes, or third and fourth tied most minutes. Tobias Harris and Maxey outplayed, but had more minutes than Harden and Embiid. And Embiid's hurt, I get that. But when you go off for 9 turnovers and 35 points between 2 of your 2 star players, that's not going to cut it.
What happened to the Harden? You remember the Harden that would throw up like a 38 piece or low 40s, but then you would always run to it with like, how many shot attempts did he have? We're like, man, it really wasn't that efficient of a game. It was like 20 attempts, 18 attempts, but then he had 16 free throws. And that's how he got 41. Like, man, he had 41? Like, I didn't even realize he had 41. You remember those games? Like Aggie Milkman usually has 6 and a quarter free throw attempts. For 6 in a game, that goes to tell it tells you everything, that it paints the description of what he's playing, and that's a non-aggressive game, a game where Harden's built on that. He puts his head down and somehow he always gets fouled. He's one of the best of always getting to the hole and somehow getting fouled and getting the and one at most times as well. What happened to that guy? I'm not sure he exists.
I mean, and what was it? Wasn't it was it game 2 where it was like 28 free throws for Philly to like
at the
6
beginning, yeah.
For Toronto? I mean, Philly had, let's see, 16 free throws total between the entire, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for everybody on the floor.
No.
Like, this
team's in trouble. I think that right now, a good bet, and I'm going to go ahead and give it. I released it to my group. Little 1-unit play, a little small play, but Raptors to win the series at plus 550. Right now, all the pressure is on those 76ers. If they lose that next game.
And I will say, one thing that we haven't pointed out, and I like to point out those anomalies that we don't want to get carried away with. I mean, Toronto shot over 50% from the floor.
They were busting.
That's how many times is that going to happen?
But then also without Van Vliet.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
That's a fair point.
I just thought about that as when you said that, and it's like, man, damn, they realized, and they did it. So they'll come back to regression to the mean, as in anything, right? That's why there's a mean and averages. They're going to regress. Can Philly regress to who they were supposed to be? Because yesterday, their quarters were 27, 14, 25, and 22. And 27 was in the first quarter. They're in trouble, man. It sucks. It sucks for Embiid, man, because he knew at the same time though they knew. How much does this fall down on Morey?
I mean, Morey does have his little best friend. Every time I think about those two, that song goes through my head every time I think of Daryl Morey, because him and James Harden just hold hands around the 76ers, the practice facility and everything. Dude, I get it. You love a guy like James Harden, but at some point you've got to stop being so stubborn and admit, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's a good street ball type player who can just drop numbers all the time, but he's not a championship caliber. He can't let, and I said this when they made this trade, he is not going to be the number 2 on a championship team. Even if he's your number 2, he cannot win a championship.
No. And we established that here. Many will call us haters, jerks. No. Jealous girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. No. We're not any of that. We're realist. Right? We're victims in this here city of James Harden.
He could still come prove me wrong. Go ahead, James, prove me wrong.
And I say this, and remember we talked about on this show that the Rockets were rumored that we're open to taking them at one point again. It's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Don't you bring back the last of James Harden. Imagine what the end of his career, what kind of James Harden that team's going to get. If this is what you're getting right now, when he should be ultra motivated, right after what happened with the Rockets. Remember, he was laughing with the Nets. It was all gravy until it wasn't. And then now he's on the Sixers, and then it was all badass, the Sixers. Remember, he rung the bell. Bing, bing. Meek Mill was out there rapping and shit. And now these boys are in trouble. Harden. That's what happened. And this is what's going to happen now. Let's go ahead and hit halftime now before we get to Not 100% Club. Just so we don't have to cut it off because we got so much ruckus in there. Ultimate Sports Talk. Yo, so happy you could catch today's stream. We appreciate it. I'm so happy that you're here. Skinny Money taking a little lunch break with us. Appreciate that. Put on the headphones. It's going to get a little wild when we get back, and it's going to get wild during this marble race. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Share it on your social medias. We're a little light today. Let's get this thing popping the last half of the show or week of the show. Peace.
All right, Odd Squad, let's race. Well, as soon as my Marvel screen loads up. All right. Come on, man. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know where half of our audience is right now. But this is I'm offended. I'm offended that nobody wants to come and say, hey, Aaron, don't go get killed in Europe. Don't go start another world war. Don't go piss anybody off and say, you know what? We fought a war so we could get away from you wankers. Let's see. All right. Now it's loaded. No, always. I'm not starting a fight. Oh, did Barry start an hour early? Is Barry trying to get back at us? Few will survive. Yeah, they won't. What is Barry doing an hour early for? Interesting. Well, thanks, Barry. All right, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Exclamation point play in the chat. I mean, there's only, 17 of y'all here, so if, let's see. If all 17 sign up before the 60 seconds is up, then yeah. Thank you for the sub, Ultimate Sports Talk. Yeah, I'm not flying your mountains, Aggie Milkman, unless not that I know of. Are there mountain ranges in the UK? I know there's hills and cliffs, but are there mountains? Oh, I didn't know he ended early yesterday. I had other stuff to do, so I only caught the first 30 minutes of the show. "10 seconds and I'm hitting start." Exclamation point play in the chat. I don't know if we've ever done this track before. Let's find out, shall we? All right. Everybody gets the little zoomy button before going into the funnel. Let's see. Oh, this could be interesting. Oh, is this the one where the little finish line goes back and forth and you can just completely miss it? That's crazy. Let's see how many of us die because we missed the finish line. There's only 10 of us. This is going to be easy to track and see who's in what place. See, they give me these little buttons where I can go, oh, first place, Clue Patron. Second place, me. Third place, one team. Fourth place, VB. 10th place, B. Hannon, who's just stuck in the cone. All right, always one team is out to lead. Oh, let's see if he makes the shot. See, I do my own sound effects. It's okay. You can be jealous. Oh, here goes a bunch of us. Oh, Clue Patron. Bye. JG's flying. Is he going to land it? Yeah, he does. Oh, Skinny Money. Bye. VB. Bye. All right, who's up on this level? Forms is out there. Oh, is Forms going to make it? Forms wins. Oh, I'm going to die. Ah. See, I can do my own sound effects. You like it. Let's see if B. Hannon makes it. Oh, overshot just a bit. Is Forms the only one who finishes this race? Oh, holy craps. That's hilarious. The only one who finishes is the one who won. Oh, that's hilarious. Donna, you did miss the race. It's okay. We'll do another one. Oh my gosh, that was the... I love that. I like seeing that Forms is the only one who finished because everybody else died. I mean, that's your first win there, Forms. Good job. Oh, man. And Clue Patrons got 3 wins. That's crazy. All right, we'll be right back.
And Forms comes through. He says things must have reset. He's won a couple. The algorithm is on your side.
Maybe it was after we changed it from WeBet to Odd Takes.
Maybe it's when we changed it from spacebar to, what was it, control alternate that you put out?
It was F10.
F10.
Yeah.
F10 to go like the F10. Welcome back to Odd Takes, 281-522-6336. It's open right now for trivia. If you want to get in on the show, last show of the week, last 30 minutes, or however long we end up going, God knows, because it's not 100%. I'm not 100% how this is about to go. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the Jaguars. The Jags. Why the Jaguars? Because there's contemplation all of a sudden on who should be chosen first. Let's start right there. If you were a Jags fan, do you trust them to do the right thing?
I mean, they got it. Well, what it's like, they got it right last year, but that was also the consensus number 1 pick for the last 3 years, ever since you saw Trevor Lawrence as a freshman at Clemson. So, I don't know. My problem is, one, there was issues between Trent Baalke and Urban Meyer. Well, Urban Meyer is kind of an ass. So that's not hard to figure out. But between Trent Baalke and Shad Khan, apparently they're butting heads. I want to know why, and I want to know what is it that Shad Khan wants to do. Because I get it. He owns the team. Technically, you have to follow what your boss tells you to do, but you also got to use your best judgment. I mean, quoting, what's his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman, when he played Art Howe in Moneyball. I've got to make the decisions that I can explain when I go into interviews for a new job next year. Trent Baalke, if he wants to continue to be a GM, even if the Jags get rid of him, he has to be able to go in and say, and they go, hey, this pick, why'd you make this pick when your owner said you didn't want it? And you go, okay, well, guess what? That guy ended up being a 2-time Pro Bowler. Let's talk about it. So there have been plenty of reports that basically every team in the top 3, top 5 want to trade down, and nobody wants to trade up. So it's clearly not the strongest draft class we've ever seen. I think it's a lot of middle of tier guys. I don't think there's any one, even everybody who loves Aiden Hutchinson, I still don't know that he is a clear number 1 overall.
And everyone fell in love with Aiden Hutchinson after the Ohio State, Michigan, and everyone got to see it, and everyone was like, man, this guy's good. But then whenever you look at projected and guys that meet the criteria of physical traits, and whenever they go up there to, to combines and to private workouts, and they absolutely demolish everything. And you're like, hold on, just wait a second. Could this guy be like a Khalil Mack or something? What if I'm missing out on that? And if you listen to Vegas at all, if you think Vegas has a jump on things, well, the jump is this, that you missed it if you think that it's going to be Trayvon Walker, because it's now at minus 220. I got it open right now. It's minus 220 that he goes first now, and Aiden Hutchinson is plus 250. It keeps moving every time I look at it. Why? Because ever since this feud's been made public, you start wondering, okay, usually it's Khan, but at this time with the new coach, and after they just went through, and the coach is on the same page as Baalke, but then they're not on the same page as Khan. It's like, does Khan want to push that right now? Or is he just going to have to step back and say, you know what? You football guys make the decision. Is that what he's going to have to do? If the odds tell you anything, in a week span, Walker went from plus money and Hutchinson was going to be first to now he's minus 220. So come Thursday when they're walking across that Bellagio fountain and that water and whatever magical things happen in the background, just remember that Walker is moving, and it's moving quick, so you might have missed that bus. Now the question is, Hutchinson, does he go 2 right away, or does everyone just start bombarding people that wanted Hutchinson and they thought there's no way we're gonna go first to get him, but we can maybe get him at second? Do people just start ringing the phones and saying we gotta get Hutchinson? I don't know what happens.
I mean, this is gonna be and you've got 3 teams in the top of that draft, that are frequent flyers at the top of the draft. This isn't like the year where you get, the Colts with the number 1 draft pick, or the Rams with the number 1 draft pick, or who's another one? The Chargers with the top draft. These are teams that are always there. So the probability that at least 2/3 of the top draft picks, of the top 3 draft picks, end up being busts, to me is high. I could be 100% wrong, and I don't know if I plan on being on air long enough to eat my words if I have to 5 years down the road. But between Jacksonville, Detroit, and Houston, I think maybe if all 3 of those teams pick 1, 2, and 3 like they're supposed to, I think only one of those players actually has a actual long career that's worth it.
To that thing where you say 1, 2, and 3, how they're supposed to, check how cool this is, and this is how much it could be a game of musical chairs. Because I said it's Trayvon Walker minus 220, Aiden Hutchinson to be first, not to go in this order, but his odds to go as first is now plus 250, right? Now, to be the number 2 overall pick, we're not talking about that number 1. Now this is just, Aiden Hutchinson is minus 200. So he's a 2-1 favorite. So it's matching up. It matches up to what that other board says, but this is where it doesn't match up. It's Thibodeau that's plus 275. So he's second to be drafted second. So that goes to tell you this, that if Walker doesn't go 1, he's going to drop. He's not 2 material. Put it that way. 1 is because Jacksonville's going to take their chance because they're going to go on raw ability and traits and everything that they're looking at, a physical specimen. I was watching some tape last night, and this boy was running people down in that Bama game. He rushes the quarterback. Quarterback throws a wide receiver screen which goes for about 40, and he's the one that makes the tackle. How the hell does that? Think about that. He almost gets to the quarterback, busts a U-turn, and just starts coming this way. Receivers making all types of moves. He runs them down at an angle and makes the tackle. If he don't make that tackle, that receiver was already cutting across. It's just crazy things like that. Either way, that's crazy how I explained it to you, right? That number over two overall pick is Walker's plus 500 to go number 2. So right then and there, it's a game of musical chairs. Where these chips fall, who knows? Let's get to the next one. Now, I'm not 100%. How about you? You're not 100%, huh?
I'm not 100% that the Jags know what they're doing in general. But yeah, I'm not 100% that what they decide to do is actually going to be the best move. I think it's going to have to be either a compromise. I don't think that one of them is the only person I could see just winning and putting his foot down is Shad Khan. I don't think Trent Baalke's going to be able to say, this is the guy I'm taking. Fire me if you want, but this is the right pick. Could be wrong. I mean, you only get to those high, CEO or 3-letter type management positions, which is what a GM basically is, by being that outspoken about stuff. You don't have a nice guy as a GM. You don't have Mr. Manners as your GM.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not 100% sure that it's going to turn out well for the Jags for having the number 1 overall pick again.
I'm with you. I'm not 100% sure that what we saw this weekend, we saw that the Yankees fans were acting kind of wild, throwing things on the field. We asked ourselves, well, that's just Yankee fan being Yankee fan, but now we're seeing another angle. What do you guys think?
You melted! Cheeto, we love you! Tell Terry Francona to fuck off. Stay down, Quan!
Tell Terry Francona to fuck
Get mad! Get mad! Get mad! Get mad!
I'm from Cleveland!
I'm
from Cleveland! Go Guardians!
a big man. Now that you see this, now that's what was going on, huh?
I mean,
did I hear a cheater in there at first, or am I tripping? At the beginning of that, right when they start yelling, I thought I heard cheater.
I didn't hear cheater. But let's listen again.
Cheeto, we love you!
Was that cheater?
Cheeto.
Okay. Okay, 'cause I'm like, cheater?
No, that guy, that loud, lower voice guy, he's a Guardians fan because he's the one who's going, "Let's go Guardians!"
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
see,
he was mad. Look at this. He was serious, bro.
which that was that dude's fault for opening his mouth and saying, "I'll punch you in the face," or "I'll punch you in the mouth," or whatever.
Tell Terry Francona to fuck off. Somebody said.
But I mean, we know Yankees fans are trash. Miles Straw knows Yankees fans are trash. He's been around them. Like, climbing the fence to do that, I don't know. I haven't seen if they've announced a fine or anything for it yet. I wouldn't be surprised if after this came out they did, because God knows that the league loves Yankees and doesn't want to piss off Yankee fans one bit. But, Yankee fans, you run your mouth enough, somebody's going to actually do something about it eventually.
My man Forum said they threw stuff at Quan after he was slow to get up after running into the wall.
He cut his head open.
And they were throwing stuff.
Yeah, he smashed face first into that wire fence that Miles Straw used to pull himself up on. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, I mean, I was a Miles Straw fan when he was an Astro. Yeah. I don't have anything against him. Props for him for not pulling a LeBron bitch move and going, "Yeah, I want these guys kicked out. They said some really mean things to me." No, Miles Straw wasn't about that life. Miles Straw got up there and said, "Do it."
He wanted the smoke.
Yeah.
He was.
Whereas LeBron goes, "Those guys called me a cheater and they told me that I'm overrated. Will you kick him out, please?"
Westbrook.
Put
some respect on
my
my last
mean to
name.
my friend Westbrook, and I don't like him. Will
Hey.
you get him out of here? No.
Westbrook.
Miles Straw said, "What? You want to run your mouth? All right, run your mouth right here. Come on. Let's go."
It's a damn shame we talk about the Lakers like this. Let's get to the next not 100% club.
No, it's not. The Lakers fucking suck. That's what they get.
Let's get to the next one. No fun in the MLB. What do you make of, and there's a lot of theories that are going around circling, but what do you make of the lack of runs in the MLB right now? And is this going to snap out?
I don't know. I expect it to change at some point, but I don't think it's going to be just a miraculous, oh, teams know how to bat again. And I get it. There was a big ass delay with the lockout. Spring training was short. Maybe some hitters are not caught up yet from the offseason. But I also think if, right before the All-Star break, we start seeing numbers just pop, that ball starts flying, I think we all know what the hell happened. And it's not any secret. Let's just say it right now. MLB is going to switch back to the juice balls. Because, what was it? Like 54% of every MLB game has gone under so far this season.
I wish I was on them.
Yeah.
4.02 runs per game are what teams are scoring, batting 232, lowest of all time.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to figure something out.
Is it the ball? Because many were saying that it was the ball, and many were using last year's numbers, but supposedly last year there was 2 different balls that were being used, so they said, okay, then let's throw those numbers out. Let's use this. 43.4%, the league-wide rate for ground balls, is tied with 2020, but that was so low and people took that out, so now we're comparing all the way back to 2008. You're talking about over a decade since there been this many ground balls. The ball's not getting off that bat. Many, those baseball pundits are going to start looking at XO Velo and all this type of other, they're saying that that's not it either. They're saying either way that the ball, the way it's coming off of, it's not. Now they're saying, is it the fact that many pitchers aren't throwing fastballs no more? It's a known fact that fastballs are easier to hit, right? They're not throwing them enough. Right now, only 55.4% of all pitches are fastballs.
And Ultimate Sports Talk threw out his thought, eventually you're going to see a lot more of these starting pitchers go down as the season goes on. Then you're going to see the non-quality starters go out there and just get rocked by bats. That could happen. But again, if they went back to those really loose hitting balls that just kind of flop around out in the in the field, and the ones that aren't juiced to fly, I don't trust MLB. Period. The end. I know that they tool with those balls. They tool with all kinds of crap. I mean, this going to a digital sign setup, it's all proven to me that MLB will do anything they can, even mid-season, and change stuff, just so long as they think it benefits MLB. Just so long as they think that they make their ratings and get their money.
As long as Angel Hernandez is the umpire, it will always be under Milkman. Yeah, I saw it, man.
Angel Hernandez is another problem.
And if he's still in MLB, that means MLB don't give a damn about being accurate. Tucker needs the juice, TD Pookie. Yeah, he needs something.
He needs something. I thought he was going to keep the batting gloves on after, using them and going 3 for 4. What was it, on Sunday or Saturday? I thought he would keep them on. He went back to being barehanded. Tuck, just keep them on for right now. See what happens. What's the worst that happens? You had 2 hits yesterday. That first hit he got, he was pissed. And Callis and Blum said it themselves. You will never see anybody with an RBI single react that badly to it, because he literally swung, hit it, and chucked his bat trying to break it into the ground before trotting to first base. And instead, I get it. You felt like you got a bad read on the ball. You got bad contact on it. Doesn't mean to freaking throw a fit before you get to first. Get to first, because you would have been at second by that point in time if you would have busted it out of the actual box.
Yep. That means that goes to tell you that he's struggling and mentally. He knew that he missed it, and instead of doing the play, and when you're not struggling mentally, you finish that off and then you think about it. He didn't get out of the box. That's rule number 1. That's one of the first golden rules they teach you in baseball. Get out that box, and he didn't.
I mean, yeah, and it's interesting. I feel like we've seen it like the last at least 2 or 3 years of the Astros season. Somebody will start off with a good bat. They're hitting well. And then somebody who is expected to hit well doesn't, and ends up going, hey, can I use one of your extra bats? I feel like Tucker needs to go to somebody. Not a Jeremy Pena. Again, Jeremy Pena's got 3 home runs, but he still was on an 0 for 19 stretch. Go ask Altuve while he's not playing. Hey, man, can I borrow your bat? I know it's shorter, but can I borrow can I talk to your bat maker and see if they can make one my height? Because there's something wrong. I need to change something. Go ask if you can borrow Uncle Mike's. Ask Jordan if you can borrow one of his, if you can lift it off the ground. Because I guarantee he used an actual tree trunk.
Yeah. I'm not 100% what's going on here. Let's get to this next one. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. To the left, Exhibit A, is when Tom Herman made his Longhorn debut and hydration was a focal point. And the color of your urine dictated what does it read on the right side of the left?
So there's 8 different hues of what your urine comes out. And it depends. Everybody knows the more water you drink, the clearer it is. Options 1, 2, and 3 are championship hydration levels. Options 4 and 5, which are below the line of demarcation, or make you a selfish teammate. Options 6 and 7 make you a blatant disregard for your teammates and makes you are headed to Area 51. And then level 8, that dark yellow gold ass pee that you have when you haven't drank nothing but like Mountain Dew and, Coke on like a long ass road trip. You're a bad guy.
See that? And now the Roadrunners, they've come out with their own thing. And check this out. You double click it. I believe it'll blow up a little bit if you, they got their own chart and it's even more detailed.
Yeah, Jeff Traylor went off and made his own now.
What does this one read?
So, level 1 is I went 0-1 and won the day. Level 2 is perfect effort.
Good piss.
You're a selfish player. Yeah. Level 3, you're showing you've got integrity.
Nice.
You've got integrity in your peeing skills.
Good.
Level 4, then your red line of demarcation says mediocrity at its finest.
So you're not
Jeff
in that.
Traylor ain't standing for mediocrity. Level 4 and 5, you're a selfish teammate. Level 6 and 7, you've got mental and physical weakness. And level 8, you're juiceless and useless. And at the very bottom right down here, it says, make a fist and pound it every day. Juiceful and useful championship mindset.
Stay hydrated, folks. At least the Roadrunners should be, unless they're everything that he says here. Once you get off that main stage, that 1, 2, 3, whenever your stuff's pretty clear, it's frowned upon.
I mean, hydration is key, and it is a weird thing that water will do to your body. Like when you're properly hydrated, I heard this from a comedian one time and I didn't believe it. And anytime I have like a bad couple of days where I'm just in a bad mood for like 2 or 3 days, I'll just pound water for that 4th day continually over and over and over again. And I'll drink 1.5 gallons of water. The next like 3 days straight, I'm in a good mood. And I don't know what it is, something about your body and the way water helps. Water is a freaking miracle.
It is.
On this earth, and it does a lot of great things for you, especially if you're trying to be a semi-professional athlete. Your ass better be hydrating.
A lot of water. Let's get to the next one. I'm not 100% that I can make the Roadrunners. Listen to this fool. Talking about 25-year-olds. They ask him this, and this is what he responds with.
Let's be honest. If you told me there's 5 young guys, 25 or under, I could bet on, I would go Giannis, Luka, Embiid, Jokic, and Jason Tatum. I don't know if they're MVPs. I don't know if Giannis is one.
What's
You
wrong
can
with
throw
this
around
list?
the
Pause it
other
right there.
guys,
Just pause it right
but
there. What's wrong
these
with
guys-
that? What's wrong with that list? Guys under 25 or 25 years old or younger. What's wrong with this list right off the top?
Let's just start at number 1. Giannis, I'm going to try to say this. It's gonna be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Nice.
What day do you think he was born?
Not within 25 years.
I mean, you would be right. He was born December 6, 1994, which makes him 27 years old.
The hell's he thinking? How about Embiid?
Joel Embiid. Let me see real quick. What day do you think he was born?
Not 25 years ago.
Oh, interestingly enough, a day after what became my marriage anniversary. March 16th, 1994, which would make him 28 years old.
Who gave this for this list? Like who nobody checked this? How about Jokic? He looks old as hell.
Nikola Jokic, February 19th, 1995, makes him 27 years old.
So more than half of his top NBA players, and look how passionately he's talking about this. Like he's making you believe it. If you don't know any better, you're just like, yeah, that's a legit list. No, how can you make a list of 25-year-olds or younger, and these guys are 27, 27, and 28? What the hell?
And this actually falls on his production team.
Yeah.
Because I get it. This is what happens. He'll give you, like, your producer will come to you and go, hey, let's make a list. Who's your top? Or during a break, he'll say, hey, I want a graphic at the top. These are going to be my top 5 players under 25. There's an entire team of producers and graphics people and assistant producers and production assistants, all kinds of stuff. One of them needs to raise their hand and go, Mr. Cowherd, I'm sorry to say this. 60% of your top 5 under 25 are all over 25. We might need to refresh a little bit.
Look at Jokic. How old does Jokic look?
I mean, he looks freaking 32.
You know, like, did he just overlook Morant? Like, he could have easily just threw Ja in here.
Easily. I mean,
But I get it. He has a lot on his plate. But still, even when he looked at this list, like, no matter what, if they just hand me something, I'm at least going to skim by it real quick one time so you're at least
throw Brandon Ingram on there.
something.
We were hailing Brandon Ingram recently.
You got to be familiarized with what you're talking about. And right then and there, he knows enough about basketball. He had to look at that list like, hold on, this doesn't seem right. Like, Embiid, he's been around for, hold on, wait a second. Wrong list. I'm not 100% sure that once this started, the internet's going to get on him. Colin's going to look at it. And he's going to be like, man, this isn't on me. Which one of you was in charge of this? Someone's getting scolded.
Yeah. Somebody's probably already been relieved of duty at this point from the Colin Cowherd show.
You can't put him up there to look like a clown because that's some clown work right there.
Yep.
You remember the Island Boys? Unfortunately,
I didn't even know what they were until about a month ago.
Good for you.
I still don't know why they're famous.
They shouldn't be. Good for you. You did good for not
But I
knowing.
didn't even know what they were until they showed up at that UFC fight
Oh, when that people
in Florida. And I was like, what the hell is this? What is this thing?
the Island Boys, if the one-hit wonders, whatever you want to call them, they're showing that they got boxing skills too. The Island Fighters. Look at this clown crap.
Hey, this is how fast he is, by the way. And no rapper could do this, man, I swear, yeah.
Dead serious too. Oh, Doug, whose little brother is out there? You know when somebody's little brother gets pissed? He's like, he
Uppercut.
ate all the Lucky Charms.
Yeah. I show a leg kick real quick.
Look at this, fool. Kick. Kick. Bro, this
Yeah.
was serious too.
Yeah. That's just him training. Any rapper,
don't
get
think
on
he got
Cameo right now, book the Island Boys, link in the bio, Cameo. Yeah, y'all already
Doug,
know
what
it
the?
is, yeah.
Hey, one more time just at the beginning piece when he
That's how
he
fast
looks like
he
a
is.
wind-up toy.
And no rapper could do this.
You know
man,
when
I
you go
swear.
brr, 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 get him. Look at this fool. What?
Like, what kind of form is that? I'm not a boxing expert, but I know when they teach you to throw a punch, they don't teach you to throw it like that.
Doug.
You're literally like that's how my cat swats at freaking bugs and shit.
Who the hell? And these boys are serious. These guys are out here talking about killing and doing all types of crazy crap. These guys, these kids, I fear.
Screw this. You know what I want to do? Drop them at a Dodger game. Let them see those Dodger fans that bowed up yesterday with the Padres fans.
Oh no, they
let
get
them
one piece.
let somebody actually
Bink, bink.
get into a fight stance with them and see what they do.
Bink, bink. Just in training, none of y'all rappers could do this. You heard him, Port Marine. Like, you know how many rappers are looking around like, what is it?
Like, why am I gonna fight a 7-year-old?
And if you go to Cameo, then they're charging like $200 and something to drop them a little count. They even come out singing at the beginning of it. They're Highland Boys, and then they'll sing like in that crap to you. They'll throw your name in there.
Yeah, what is that? Can anybody tell me why they are famous? Like, what did they do to get famous?
They're Island Boys.
No. Why does that make them? What the fuck is an island boy? I don't get it.
I have no.
What island do they hail from? Long Island? Cuba?
These boys.
Puerto Rico?
This is where we're at.
What is it? Saint what's the other one? Cape Town?
They said Les Call says rappers, yeah, but that's not where they're making their money.
What? Okay,
These
what?
boys got
Name
blown
me a
up off
song
this
that's on the radio.
This little publicity stunt is what got them famous. They're in their little moment. They're hitting cameos right now, but they're in their little moment, I guess. But they're not getting anything from me. I just thought to myself, man, these are the asshole type of kids that are gonna be chasing my daughter in the next 5-6 years, and I'm not all right with that, dog. Like that's the first thing I said, man. Hell no. I got to give her enough sense where she's like, what the hell are these clowns? Like, these are clowns. I look on their thing. I went down this and there's girls on there like, yeah, man, they're so hot. They're so cute. And I'm like, what?
Easter Island? Waikiki?
What island are they from? What island?
Midway? What was the one? Shoot.
Gilligan's?
Right? What the hell?
Let's get to the last one here.
Bora Bora? I'm running out of islands here.
Let's get to the last one here before we get out. All right. Casinos. You see people get a little wired up. Sometimes it's because the liquor. Sometimes because it's your loss. Sometimes it's because of both.
You're headed to one tomorrow. I'm headed to one on this cruise ship. We got a big-ass casino. I've already scoped out my poker tournaments.
If I see anything like this, I'm pulling out my phone. Check this out. He gave him lunch twice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Which one do? He said, which one do? Uh-oh. Look.
Oh, get out of the way, blue shirt.
Watch this right here. Watch this. Keep an eye right here. Bow. One hitter. I told you. Look, he gets up. He comes back for more fixings. Jerk. Wow. One hitter again.
Send him 5 feet. One punch sent him 5 feet backwards.
Twice. He served him one hitter. One piece. He said, oh, you ain't got enough for a 2-piece with sides? Here's 1 piece at a time. Bam. Oh, you want another leg? Bow. Look at this boy telling. It was him. You shouldn't have been up in his face.
What were they fighting about? Does anybody know?
No, I try to find out. Who knows? You know,
And
casino.
why are you fighting a casino?
You
Like,
know the
you
cameras. There's one place in the world that you know there's a camera watching your every single move, and that's at a casino.
Not only that, never in my life have I been mad enough at a casino at another player. Am I mad at the house? Yes. But I can't fight the house. They got security. Why are you fighting another gambler? It's supposed to be us versus the casino. All of us. Just because you win doesn't mean I can't win. Get the hell out of here. Good Lord.
And I've seen some wild stuff at a casino. I've seen a guy with me, unfortunately, drunk as hell, got down to his last little bit on roulette, stacked it all out there, and just those $1-2 chips, you know, it makes it look like you got a lot out there. And then as soon as the ball hits and he looks, he just goes and just grabs his hand and just runs it across all the chips. Even the ones that they're stacking that work, he even poked at those. He said, yeah, now y'all fix them since y'all took my money. And he walked out. Well, tried to. They weren't having that. They hit up.
Hell no.
They hit up the. Good. They gave a description. I'm like, do they think he stole? They treated him like he stole. They treated him like he grabbed one of those chips. They said, boom, took him down. I had another guy one time. We were at the Isle of Capri when they still had the boats. Dude lost all his damn money on poker on a bad beat. They used to have these Subway sandwiches, but they weren't Subway, but they were that. They were subs. They would open them and you could get them for free for complimentary playing. This fool goes over there, pissed off, goes to piss, comes back out. He's like, man, I got bad beat. He's trying to tell me a story. He said, man, ain't nobody eating these sandwiches. This fool just goes over there and rubs his hands on every single sandwich. Gets thrown out. Somebody's over there like, what are you doing? He's just in that zone like, man, screw this thing. I'm like, bro, the casino didn't take your money. Like, you're hurting us. Like, I was going to eat one. Jerk. God. That same guy on that same trip, he was the driver, unfortunately. He was in expedition. We get in that expedition, and I'm telling you, from Lake Charles to Houston, he didn't hit the brake, bro. It was like, and then at this point, this dude's, he had like two, like 12s or 15s just sitting in the back, and he turned just pissed off. He's driving, no brakes. He turns it up loud as hell on like techno trance. So it's like boom, 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 the whole way home. And I'm sitting there just like, dog, Brad, dog, I know, bro, what happened, but just chill, bro. That's the end of the show.
Why are you getting that mad? Like,
Pissed all the way from Lake Charles. Imagine what I felt like in the back of there. That's the end of the show.
Good
I don't know where
Lord.
I always come up with these stories. I've seen some things at a casino, and we're going to have more stories whenever I get back on Monday. I'll be back here Monday, same time. It's going to be a one-man show. I'm going to try to figure it out. I might have some guests. I got to try to figure out that as well. But for now, we got to sign off. We got to wish my man Aaron some good luck. Any parting words?
everybody have fun. Don't burn this place to the ground while I'm gone. I expect America to be, well, it's already burned to the ground. I expect Texas to be in as good a shape as I left it. Don't screw any of my stuff up while I'm gone. Everybody else have fun. If you have any cool soccer bets you think I should go make, find me on Twitter. My DMs are open. DM me if you got a bet on like Saturday while I'm walking around London, because I think they have those off-site betting parlors. I'll walk in. I'll throw down a couple of pounds, a couple of euros, a couple of I don't know what else to call them, a couple of shekels on the old football pitch. Hit me up.
So signing off like we always do, you bloody rascals. I love you so much. I'm Jared Bowe. Peace.
All right, Odd Squad. I wasn't going to leave you without one more marbles race. You've got to hear me doing racing play-by-play, right? Thank you, Uriel. Thanks, Biggie. Thanks, Forbes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's going to be interesting. My first time ever leaving the country that wasn't to Mexico. Rusty Remnant. All right, let's do this. Let's race. And then we'll go invade the last 2 hours of Barry on deck. All right. Exclamation point play in the chat. Thanks, Paul Marine. I will. I got to find. Fred Fowler, I had asked him what his favorite pub was when he was there when the Texans played, and he just sent me a picture and said, I don't know the name, but here's a picture of it. So I got to go play digital spy and track it down. Carmen San Diego style. All right, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. If you're not in the marble race, get your ass in the marble race. All right, 15 seconds. Hell, if any of y'all been to London, you got places I should go, or Dublin or anything like that, let me know. I'll try to make it happen. I'm always looking for recommendations. I know I got breweries and distilleries to go to. All right, let's do this. All right, giant Plinko board of death into what looks like a weird ass track. Interesting. Oh, it's gonna be a long road. Biggie's out in first. Rudy Rod's in second. Alex and Joel battling for third place right now. Oh, let's see. Oh, Biggie does get through the little, I don't even know what to call those things. Pillars, I guess. Okay, Pookie. I'll be sure to try that. And yes, I get the reference. Everybody's taking the elevator up. Always one team's in first. Oh, look who's in second. This guy. Aggie Milkman's not far behind. Joel's back there. Oh, Clue Patron died. Forms died. How did y'all fall off? Where did y'all fall off at? Always one team. Still got the lead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is anybody gonna fall? No. Somebody. Oh no, I guess that was the fastest time. Somebody's out there in first. I can see him. Elm, Biggie, one team. Oh, it's a really dead heat for all three of them. Biggie's out there in first now. Uh-oh. Oh, and Skinny Money comes out of nowhere and takes the lead. Better hope you don't get shoved off by the little pillar things. Oh, and look who came in second place right there. Oh, I'm trailing on you, Skinny. Who's in third place? Biggie's in third place. Man, this is a... Uh-oh, Skinny's now extending that lead. I don't like it. Where's my ball? There's my ball. Go. Go, ball, go. Skinny Money might take this. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought my ball was going over. Man, this is a long-ass track. Woo! Skinny almost fell. Ooh, my ball's got the tight front spin on it. Oh, look at that. Go, ball, go. Skinny Money. Oh, wow. Skinny Money got punted ahead of me. What the hell was that? And you win. Son of a... How did that happen? Let's see somebody else get punted. Ooh, somebody did. Where'd they go? Elm got punted. Let's see if he lands it. Oh, no, he did not land it. Pookie got punted. That doesn't work. All right. All right, we need the last two of y'all to get in here. There we go. Let's take a look at it. Skinny Money came in first. Pookie, Elm, Poor Marine, Clute, Forms. Sorry, guys. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Y'all be safe. Gerald will be back on Monday. I'm going to hand you off to Barry. Go enjoy time with him. Enjoy his nice, comfortable deck. I heard he made room for it. Got it shined up nice and polished for you. We'll see you soon. Peace.